Yo, welcome back, boys. Welcome back. We are actually back to the 4-month cycle for Path of Exile 1, and I haven't really been posting much content, as you probably see from the graveyard, which is my YouTube. But since we are back on the 4-month cycle, and hopefully PoE 2 is going to be improving, I'll be coming back to make more content for you guys and stuff like that. Of course, I'm streaming every day, as I always am, so yeah, but that's about enough of giving you guys an update as to what's going on in my life and the channel and that sort of stuff. So I want to sort of tell you guys my plans for League Start. The patch notes just came out and the reveal as well, and it looks crazy, man. Like the changes are pretty good so far. I really like the ascendancy changes that they have showed us, and also one thing that is really nice is what I've been practicing, what I played in my private league as well, has not been nerfed, right? Which, in my opinion, is kind of broken, and that is Volcanic Fissure of Snaking Berserker. Now, I've been doing a lot of practice runs with Volcanic Fissure Berserker. It's really strong. Like the progression through the campaign is extremely smooth, and I've made a path of building for you guys to follow. So I will still be making a mid-game and a late-game path of building as soon as possible. In the next coming days, I'm going to be doing that on my stream, so that there is a better outline for you guys getting into endgame and that kind of stuff. But as of right now, for you guys that want to go out there and maybe do a couple of practice runs throughout the week, you can do that. And you have the tree here from Act 1 to 3, and then you can continue on to Act 4, etc., right? You're just going to be scrolling through as you know here. I will be writing a max roll guide as well for you guys that need a little bit more hand holding. So look out for a very in-depth guide on that in the coming week as well. Hopefully I will be posting that around, Wednesday, Thursday, the latest, so that you can kind of like look through that and prepare. But let me explain to you why Berserker, why Volcanic Fissure, and why melee in general, which I'm not really a melee player, but yeah. Melee is insane. It has like a really, really, really good progression. I am not a racer. I am not very good at this game. And just yesterday, I did a 3-hour, 56-minute run to Act 10 Kitava. That's really good. And I got into maps, and that's this character here that you see. The gear now, after a couple of maps, I've been like pretty good already in like a couple of maps. And I'm just like, I'm going crazy in these maps. I'll put a map in right now so you guys can kind of get an idea of what that looks like. And I will also make it so that my ultra wide doesn't look so bad. So let me just fix that real quick. I think the way that I do that is I can make it so I get the centered UI. Let me fix that real quick for you boys right there. Boom. It doesn't look so bad. Okay. You won't be able to see the inventory and that sort of stuff, but yeah, just so you guys get an idea of what that looks like just as you're entering maps. I found this axe in the campaign and I just crafted physical damage on it, and you can see it's just a bit of damage. It's not that insane. And again, sorry that the inventory cuts off there. I didn't really prepare for this video. But you go in maps and you start to ramp up your rage. And then once your rage is ramped up, you will just deal crazy damage. Oh, better avoid the chaos volatiles. I still don't have any chaos resistance. Hopefully, I hope they nerf those fucking volatiles. They're so OP. They're so annoying to deal with. This build is actually pretty good. Like usually when you think like slammers, you think you're pianoing a bunch of stuff, but in reality what you're doing is you're only pressing 2 war cries. You are pressing Infernal Cry, and you're also pressing Enduring Cry. Enduring Cry so you can get your endurance charges to make you tankier, which by the way, endurance charges are not nerfed in the patch notes. And Infernal Cry because of a bunch of mechanics that I will explain. So in early game, usually you have a big issue with mana sustain, and life leech. But one crazy thing that you could do with Infernal Cry is you can link Infernal Cry. Okay, that's it. I'm going to be fixing this. Let me pause for a second. Alright, I'm back. And I'm in windowed mode, so please excuse the white bar at the top, but at least now you guys can see what I'm pointing at here in my inventory. So you see that I have Infernal Cry, right? And I linked that to life leech support and also mana leech support. And this works because the damage that Infernal Cry deals is actually like, you can leech from that. So when you link mana leech support and life leech support, that means that you're getting your life leech and mana leech from this gem. And then I link it to urgent order as well, so that it's like an instant, it's basically instant. And since I'm a Berserker, and Berserker is taking the Ascendancy node that war cries exert twice as many attacks, that's 14 attacks, right? as I'm in early game right now, I don't have like really good rage sustain. The way that I'm going to be getting that is through getting another rage cluster here. And for the second... Oh, I'm dying. My bad. Okay, that doesn't count though. That doesn't count. There's another rage cluster mastery that gives you rage sustain. So like war cries grant 1 rage per 5 enemy power up to 5. And since we have the mastery that grants 10 minimum power from the war cry here, that means that like when we're going to be clicking it, we're going to be gaining rage. And the way that looks is this video is so scuffed. I can't even regret it. But basically what's going to happen is, since you have auto exerts going off, and since you have your 2 war cries that you're clicking, you're basically going to have full rage all the time. So you don't have this weird ramping type of feeling that you have as you're going in maps, which in early game, I do have to say, is the thing that feels the most scuffed. Because as you're getting into maps, yeah, you don't have that rage, and rage grants you like so much attack speed. This 1% increased attack speed and here rage loss, whatever. So yeah, it grants so much attack speed, so it just makes mapping feel so much smoother. So if you can see that I walk in my map, and at the start I'm like attacking really slowly, but as I as I ramp my rage, if we got some monsters here to hit, as I ramp my rage, my attack speed gets better and better and better and better, until it gets to the point where it's just like, it's smooth, right? I'm like, look at me, I'm like jumping around, I'm like really fast. My axe still doesn't really have like a lot of attack speed, and I'm gonna be getting a lot more attack speed from the passive skill tree as I level. I'm currently only level 75, and yeah, I mean, bro, this build is actually just really good. As I said, I played this in my private league. I played it because I was watching Ben play it in his private league, and it looked kind of insane. So all I really did is, like adapt a couple of things, and yeah, and the build is really enjoyable. So if you are looking for a build to play in 3.27, I would say that this is one of the best league starters that you can play. It's very smooth all the way through the campaign, into endgame, into pinnacles, and further. It has really good item progression as well, and I will show you guys some synergies and items that you can basically use to make this build pop off into the endgame and that kind of stuff. I'm still feeling, oh shit, an Exalted Orb, that's pretty cool. I'm still feeling a bit squishy at the moment, but that sort of will, in a way, obviously fix itself as I get more maximum resistances, more endurance charges, better uptime on my rage, better uptime on my fortify. And actually, they buffed one of the, well, not buffed, but they basically made Defiance now actually usable on Berserker. You can see here in the patch notes, Defiance now works as Defiance of Destiny, the amulet. So you gain 3% of missing unreserved life before being hit by an enemy per Defiance, and it stacks up to 10, right? But you lose it once you get hit. So it basically acts as a massive buffer for recovering your life, as long as you're not getting hit too much. Although the problem here is that we are an armor-based character, we don't have any evasion, meaning we are getting hit quite a bit. So this is actually going to be a node that you will have to sort of min-max around. And I think the way to get like insane value out of this is to have block on your character. And I think block might actually be something viable for you to actually get, because of the new mercenaries that they're introducing in 3.26. These mercenaries, they can have war cries, and on top of that, they can buff you further. So that means that like you can kind of alleviate some of the investments that you make on your character and shift them towards other things, because these mercenaries are going to be giving us a lot of power through the war cries that they cast. Since they'll be manually casting those war cries, you will be getting the effects of those war cries. So yeah, you'll just be able to essentially shift a lot of the power that they give you into something else, like block or whatever, right? And so with block, Defiance just becomes kind of insane. And on top of that, you can stack this with Defiance of Destiny amulet, which is cracked. It's absolutely cracked. But let me explain a little bit the early game with this, because we have an axe called Chaos Primacy. And the Chaos Primacy axe is a T4D unique. It's like as common gets. Like this thing is third common. The thing that is most likely going to be making this axe expensive is the fact that usually Never Sinks Filter hides this as soon as you go to strict. So that's the potential sort of like price manipulation thing about this. But other than that, like, there's no way this unique becomes expensive. And like, you can honestly take me on that. It's a T4 unique, unless GGG decides to just like nerf the drop rate by a shit ton. But I don't think they're going to be doing that. So yeah, a really strong unique, and let me explain why. So you get Culling Strike, so that's like, in theory, kind of 10% more damage. Rage on melee hits, so that's faster rage ramp. But most importantly, it has base damage, which is pretty decent base damage. But this line here, every rage also grants 1% physical damage as extra fire damage. And you have 50% rage, like you have 50 rage, right? Your character literally has 50 rage. So that's 50% fire as extra. But this actually interacts with this node here. As you can see, it says 50% increased rage effects. So that's another 25% increased physical damage as extra. This axe ends up being around the equivalent of 800 physical damage axe. The downside of it, of course, is that your attack speed is really low on this. But since it's such a common unique, maybe you can get corruptions for attack speed, or maybe you can even get fortify in your links, or like something interesting like that. Because yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great way for you to access some more power through corruption. So that's pretty cool. This axe is insane. Now, on top of that, there is a new ring that they teased. If I can find it here real quick, I'm going to be scrolling down to it. Sorry, this video is not going to be like edited or anything like that. I'm just so excited to put this out because it's insane. But this is probably going to be dropping for pinnacle bosses, so don't expect for it to be like super common or anything like that. But yeah, damage penetrates fire resistance equal to overcapped fire resistance, which 55% reduced fire resistance is a massive downside, right? That's 50% less fire resistance that you get overall, but the upside is so insane. And since we're 100% shifting to fire, this is potentially like the highest DPS ring you can get on this build. Potentially really, really, really insane. And the fact that it's on a Vermilion base is pretty damn cool as well, and it gives a bunch of strength and fire damage. Yeah, take fire damage when you use a skill, like that's not a problem at all. We have so much mitigation, it's not a problem at all. Another final thing that you are going to be getting is a common Uber Elder unique, and that is the helmet, which I actually forgot off the top of my head the name. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be logging into my character that I was playing in my private league. You see here, this is a Volcanic Fissure guy. By the way, this build is so much fun with a Headhunter as well. Like, it's really, really a blast to play with HH2. Yeah, Echoes of Creation. This is completely broken, bro. 14% damage for each war cry, exerting them. And we have a lot of war cries on this build. We're using Seismic Cry, Intimidating Cry, Battle Mage's Cry, and then on top of that, we have that all on auto exertion, so you never have to press that. But we have Infernal Cry, Rallying Cry as well, and you can use Enduring Cry, although that does not exert attacks. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 14. This helmet is like 50% more damage. It's crazy. It's a crazy helmet. We have Recombs as well. So that means that we could still craft weapons like this. We are losing this enchant. So that's a big nerf in terms of like very top end damage. But this build, I was doing 100, like I was doing Delhi Exiles with 10,000 wisps on this character, and it was popping off, bro. Like it's really, really, really strong. Once you get to the level of investment with like Defiance of Destiny, Progenesis, and potentially also like the new Defiance node, and you cap your suppression, as well on top of having like a ton of armor from having these insane armor bases with like almost up to 6,000 armor and that kind of stuff. Like, you get really tanky, you deal a lot of damage, and yeah, it's just a fun, well-rounded build to play. And you can see I have like a ton of life. There are a few map modifiers that you really want to avoid, like less defenses or enemies steal your charges and that kind of stuff. But outside of that, the build feels honestly like really smooth. Since you have so much armor, you're going to be proccing your molten shells as well when enemies hit you, and the clear is pretty good too. So I'm just going to find maybe like if I have a T17 that I can run for you guys real quick, if I could just like chuck it in and run it. I will pause the recording, and the next time the recording will play, I will be in a T17. Alright, I'm back. I just put a bunch of Chaos Orbs in my T17, but here we go. We have a completely disgusting map with buffs expire faster, which is not ideal at all, since our Warcries are going to be falling over faster and marked enemies. Okay, this is a ziggurat map, so I will not be doing the boss, just FYI. But I do say, this build is pretty good at bossing too, so... I'm not going to say it's like an amazing boss or anything like that, because I am terrible at doing bosses in this game, at least with builds like this, where you actually have to do the mechanics. But, yeah, it's pretty decent at bosses. Like, you're going to be able to do all your own bosses, right? Like, that's a given. It's just a matter of, like, oh, we got a little filter problem, boys. Let me fix that. We're going to go for this one. And that should be fine for now. Yeah. It's still pretty unstrict. So the scary thing is, like, the helmet makes you take a ton of physical damage, but by the time you use this helmet, you're gonna have, like, a ton of armor. And because you have a ton of armor, like, you mitigate that physical damage. And, yeah, it's not that much of a problem. Here we can actually take physical damage taken as extra. Here we have a little bit more. Yeah, bro, I'm honestly glad that, like, I hope that next league T17s are not going to be, like, the meta, but, yeah. And you can see that, like, with Headhunter, my build is, like, kind of strong. I was, like, very strong pre-Headhunter as well. You use just, like, a Stygian Vice. But, like, if you're ever doing any sort of, like, T17 stuff, like, Headhunter goes pretty hard, obviously. And funnily enough, like, Headhunter is considered to be a more budget belt in comparison to Mageblood, where back in the day Headhunter was like the absolute GOAT belt, but no longer really. But yeah, like it's just really really strong. I'm gonna hide the loot because I don't really care much for standard loot, and I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like in a full juice T17. You see these monsters have like a bible of modifiers, and I'm running full effect Atlas, of course, with all of that stuff. And yeah, it's honestly doing pretty well. This build would be so much stronger with Mageblood. The reason I didn't have a Mageblood is because in my private league I actually didn't drop a Mageblood. We dropped a few Headhunters, we dropped the Nimbus as well, but we didn't have a Mageblood, so that was kind of sad. But yeah, I mean, the build does pretty damn well. And yeah, so I will be linking the leveling PoB in the video description, and I will also be providing more content in that. You can check out the streams that I've been streaming here on YouTube as well as Twitch if you want to check out the VODs of what it looks like to level this build. And yeah, just yoink the PoB. And aside for that, if you're looking for more sort of well-structured as well as a better sort of like better guide and that kind of stuff, I will be working on that, and you will be getting updates as well as an update video throughout the week. Look forward to that. But right now, I just wanted to share my excitement for the build, my excitement for 3.26, and just in general, like a massive sigh of relief for the fact that we are getting content cadence again in Path of Exile. Because, boys, I gotta be honest with you, it's been a rough year. I've considered, you know, my life decisions, what I've been doing, and that kind of stuff. So I'm really glad to hear that, like, the video game that I fell in love with, the reason why I decided to make content, is back, right? And the developer said it's back. GGG literally said we're back. So, you know, not gonna be buying a supporter pack until I see the next league in 4 months. But you know, when the next league releases in 4 months from now, and it pops off, you got me. You know, I'm back. So hope you guys enjoyed this little ramble video or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we're back, boys.